Okay, welcome back. And Mike Igini, immediate past Resident Electoral Commissioner in Akwa Ibom State, is our guest. He has this passion for elections, whether in or out of INEC, and so there he is in his chambers. He said, Aluta continua. He's forever going to be interested in this. So, Mike, I wanted to ask you that, look, there's some litigations. INEC has always said that it will follow scrupulously whatever the court says as a law-abiding organization. Now, there are two different appeal court judgments. In short, litigations, could they possibly be a form of a disturbance to INEC? Because I'm asking this against the backdrop of less than 3 months now, in fact, 82 days odd to the election. Litigations regarding INEC's monitoring of primaries. Are we out of the woods in that regard yet?
Respect to that. But that's not a problem to INEC. Only to the extent that for the entire Nigerian people, this is part of regression in our democracy, that we are gradually got to a point where candidates that will stand for elections are not known before the day of election. Most of the cases are still at the level of the Court of First Instance. Meanwhile, most of these cases will get up to Supreme Court. This is where we are. It's a shame to the political class that after 23 years, the first and primary duty of a political party in a democracy is presenting candidates for election. This has remained a problem. Despite the innovation contained in the Electoral Act, this is what we have today. It's a disgrace to the political class that we are going to 2023 election, particularly with respect to senatorial candidature, governorship candidature, State House of Assembly, and Federal House. Most of the candidates will not be known before that election. It's a shame to the political class.
It is indeed worrisome. One moment, Mike. Let me bring on our first caller this morning, Emmanuel in OTUKPO. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Good morning.
I greet Mike Igini. He's doing a very good job. We have gone far in democratic governance, and we cannot afford to go back to Egypt. After 23 years, we've done far in it, and though we have not really gotten to where we should be, but we have tried. And INEC is trying. I keep saying it. So the solution to this incessant attack on INEC facilities across the country is for the president, who is interested in giving us a free, fair, and credible election to leave a legacy behind. It's for him to create a committee where he will be the chairman and involve all the governors as members, the security chiefs as members, IG of police, and then the Chief Attorney General of the Federation and the National Security Advisor, the Chief Justice of Nigeria. All these category of people should be members, and there it should be very clear to the members that any attack on any INEC facility in the country, anywhere, henceforth, that the state where it happened will bear the brunt of the repair, and it will be taken at source from their federal allocation. I can assure you, since no governor will want to lose money, they will jump into action and involve their local government chairman. And the local government chairman will involve all the communities where INEC facilities are sited. And I can tell you that nobody will tamper with INEC facilities again.
Okay.
Because the people destroying our INEC facilities are not ghosts. They are our boys. They are thugs that we know or hired from somewhere else. So if they do this, if the president can do this, he will do himself well. Thank you.
Thank you very much for calling in, Emmanuel. So, Mike, I also wanted to ask, because we have to look at it holistically, all these innovations that INEC has been, coming up with and is working at. I wonder what your opinion would be as to whether they can help insulate INEC staff from or against corruption.
Yes, absolutely. That's the beauty of, we know the role of the human agency. Today, Yori, we have beautiful electoral acts, we have INEC processes and procedures. These laws and acts or procedures are not self-executory. And that is why I'm sure that the focus of INEC now is on its implementation strategy. And that is what must involve everybody who has a role to play. The Nigerian police have just organized its own retreat, and they are doing training across the zonal command and the state command. I'm aware of that. I've also been privileged to participate in the one that was organized by Ogun State, where I also was part of. So that is already ongoing. Now, with respect to INEC, in terms of insulation of the staff from infiltration or corruption or whatever, first is the fact that today, it should be noted that at the polling unit level, it is only the youth service corps members that will operate in the 176,846 polling units.
Okay.
Please, let me just quickly inform before I proceed on this layer. It is that at the polling units today, by virtue of Section 43 of the Act, all political parties, presidential candidates, please take note of this now. And my advice is strongly for those who are holding different offices or controlling the state across the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And that is that from the office of Mr. President down to the least public official, either as councillor, you cannot, under Section 43, be a party agent. You must submit to the INEC. This time around, you do not have room to go to INEC office to be fighting anymore through the portal. Okay. You are going to submit, fill a form. Your party agent must fill a form, have their photograph, and the specimen of their signature. INEC has a reason for that. I will not disclose that for you on this program. Okay. That is for you to know. Now,
Mike, I beg your pardon. I've got to interrupt, Mike. I'm so sorry. I know I'm disturbing your flow, but Mr. George in IKEJA has called in. Good morning, Mr. George.
Good morning, Uncle Yori, and good morning to Mr. Igini. Uncle Yori, first of all, let me admire Mr. Igini's chambers. The outlook is very beautiful. Also, I want to thank him for his service to this country. Some of us appreciate what he did while in INEC. It was because of him we saw card reader technology and all the other digital innovations that followed. But he said something that power for electing leadership has now returned to the people. Yes, but not fully yet, Mr. Igini. There is need to go further. It is my sensing that one day you will return to INEC in one other leadership form or the other. But it suffices to say that we need to take technology further as far as INEC is concerned. If you go for your PVC registration, I see no reason why you should not collect the same day you are registered. So that this question of waiting for election to be 3 days, 2 weeks to come before everybody goes to collect PVC at the same time will not come in. And then if you have to participate in voting, the stress that goes with it now needs to be reduced or eliminated with technology. People who are going to burn INEC offices think that PVCs will be there to make sure some people in certain places are not able to vote. If the technology is improved in such a way that PVCs are not stored there, or sensitive materials are not able to prevent voting and all that, all these actions will stop. It is people who know that they cannot win elections, but want to truncate it for those that can win, that are doing these things. Okay. So I believe technology can take care of it. And the president, that is, whoever is in charge of the country and in charge of security agencies, should show us it's not enough to just condemn the criminal aspect of it. We want to see all these that have been happening, all these burnings that have been taking place. We have not seen somebody brought to book. Did they not catch someone? If they didn't catch anybody, all right, was there an investigation? Didn't that investigation reveal who did it and what has happened to such people?
Okay, Mr. George, I beg your pardon for interrupting you too, but I have to do that from time to time. Now, Mike, you know,
Thank you. Yeah, I want to thank the last caller, and I'll quickly drive to the point he has just made. Very correct. Okay. Technology does not regress; it continues to improve, and it's going to improve in the direction. Yeah, it is true. When you go to the banks today, you want to get your ATM and all that. It doesn't take time. You see, let us be a bit patient with INEC, because from what I know, INEC is being gradual, incremental in what it's doing, because we don't have enough time to tell you a few things here. That when INEC try to do something, we also look at the area that people can come in to try to mess it up. So that's why INEC is a bit restrictive in its approach in what it's doing and all that. So Nigerians should just relax. You are going to get to the safe harbor. There's no point about that. Power have been returned to the Nigerian people. And of course, once I finish my last thought on this, I'll give you the essential feature of the current system, why power is back to the Nigerian people. So concluding my thought on the first issue is that the NYC will be charged at that level, and I've just told you that no person.
Because in answering the question as to whether innovations would insulate INEC, I was going to follow that up by asking the source, as a resident electoral commissioner, former.
Correct.
The source. Correct. I think you sort of answered part of that question, right?
A part of that. So yes. It's part of the source. So for those who will man the polling unit, they are drawn for NYSC.
So
those
there's no way they could be party people.
Not at all. Completely. In fact, thank you for adding that to it. They are purely from NYSC. And the National Youth Service, the DG, is going to certify the list for each state, for the entire state of the federation, given to the commission to deal with. Number two, because we need to deal with previous problems where you used to have fake NYSC. Politicians used to have fake NYSC before.
Yeah.
That we have discovered in time past. At the level of the supervising presiding officer, who are the people who are going to give the ballot paper and result sheet to the presiding officer? Now, before I left, the decision of the commission was to the effect that they are going to be using INEC staff, which I, as a commissioner, since 2011, I've always had more confidence, trust on INEC staff, because I provided leadership. I showed the moral direction. I never asked the staff of INEC to do anything for anybody for 10 years that I work in INEC. So I had no problem in using the staff. Now it's now a commission policy. So at that level, it's taken care of. Okay. At the level of collation process, where you are going to have some of the colleagues from the academia and from what they call federal agencies, the rule is that, which is what I do, it is not for a federal agent to bring a list. You must bring your nominal role to INEC.
I beg your pardon, Mike. I've got to go on a break now. I apologize, these incessant interruptions. I don't have a choice, really. We'll go on a break now. Stay with us, please. We'll be right back.